Hey guys and welcome, my name is Diogo and I'm a professional dog trainer. I have an apology to make. I've been failing my video schedule for 2 weeks now. So 2 weeks ago I went to the ER with some severe belly pain and I needed to stay at the hospital for 1 week. I had surgery and I'm okay now, but I needed those 2 weeks to get myself better. Now I'm back and apology made, let's get back to the video. So this video is about how I started dog training. I started dog training pretty early in my life. I have had dogs, my family have had dogs for basically all my life. And when I was 11 years old, I got a new dog that was not just the family dog, it was my dog. So this dog was at my responsibility. And I understood that as I needed to take care of this dog, I need to pay attention to the education. So I took things pretty seriously for an 11-year-old boy, and I started to learn everywhere I could about dogs, how the dogs learn, how the dogs behave, things that I needed to pay attention to in certain moments of development. The advantage that I got is that since I had other dogs and I've had dogs for all my life, I could compare that, what I was learning, with what I saw all my life. And there is some misinformation a lot of times, and there are people that talk about different ways, different methodologies, different goals as well. I compared with what I knew from dogs and I applied it with that dog that I got. I had pretty good results, and 2 years after I got the second dog that was for myself and not just a family pet. Well, they were family pets, of course, but they were my responsibility to take. With my first dog I had learned so much that when I got my second dog 2 years later, it was not such a question of trial and error as it was with the first dog. It was more of I saw this working and I need to see if this works with more than just this one dog. And I was pretty fortunate, and most things I have done were working pretty well. So when I applied those things to the second dog and I saw good results as well, I started to feel like, hey, this works. After I trained my second dog, I started to get the hand of it, and I started to do dog training for fun, just as a hobby, as kids do, I guess. And I started to train neighbors' dogs and people that just came to me and said, oh, your dog does this and this seems pretty cool, how can I get my dog to do the same thing? And I would just teach them or teach the dog or a little bit of both. Years passed and I moved to the capital city of Portugal, which is Lisbon, and there I saw a huge diversity of training methodologies and training goals. But what I really understood was that nobody was working the same way that I was. Both dog trainers and people just training their own dogs, they were dependent on basically food or other training tools, and I really saw no fit to be only able to train a dog if I depended on those tools, and I saw that I could do a little bit better. So I gathered more information about psychology of dog training and human training too, and I opened my own school. My training today is more structured, however the psychology didn't quite change all that much, so I still use relationship-based training since I basically started dog training. My book will be available soon. I've been writing it for 2 years now. The first chapter talks about the pillars of relationship-based training methodology, and let me read that for you. The fundamental principles of this method are understanding how dogs think and learn, communication between the owner and the dog, and finding out what motivates the dog. So these were the principles that I started with, and they have worked with me ever since. I started my first dog training company, Dogs and Coffee, in Europe in 2013. I'm actually going to Portugal pretty soon to do some dog training there. I felt the need to expand and not be just as local as I was. So in the beginning of 2020, I moved to Seoul, where I'm currently at, doing some dog training here. And that's how The Teacher's Pet was formed. The Teacher's Pet is a sister company to Dogs and Coffee, and it's operating in Asia, while Dogs and Coffee is operating in Europe. And I'm looking forward to the future where these companies will expand, not just geographically, but also to other branches of the dog world. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for the last 2 weeks with no uploads. I hope that we are back to the program now, so subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.